Another tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be talking about how to build app navigation. Okay, so there are three different primary patterns for navigation. One is a bottom navigation, the second one is called the navigation drawer, and the third one is called tab navigation. So at first we will be in this chapter I will be talking about navigation drawer. Then consecutively in the following lectures we will be talking about bottom navigation, and at last we will also be talking more about the tabbed navigation. So actually to make you things clear, we have three primary patterns for the navigation that I have listed here before right now. So we will be talking about navigation drawer in this chapter. Okay, so we'll be going step by step, understanding about how to build app navigation in your application. So so actually, in the previous chapter we were able to learn about fragment lifecycle, and we also actually implement the jetpack navigation to simplify the navigation in your application. Okay, using the fragments, right? So yeah, we'll also be using that. So so we will learn first about the navigation drawer, which is actually the most easy, widely adopted navigation pattern used in Android application. Then we will be talking more about bottom navigation, tab navigation. Okay, step by step. So let's understand about the navigation. So the Android navigation user flow is built around destination within your application. So there are primary destination available at the top level of your app, and subsequently are also displayed in the main app navigation and secondary destination. So there is a concept of primary navigation and secondary navigation that you have to understand. So a guiding principle of each of these three navigation pattern that I have listed here is to contextually provide information about the main section of the application to the user at any point of the time, right? So actually it is making your user more making interaction or making navigation more easier, right? Presenting the user about all the main section of your application. uh, so um, uh, Actually, your navigation should be more fluid and natural. It must be intuitive, so that the user from the user experience point of view, it is more smooth and fluid. Okay, it looks more smooth and fluid. Okay, so okay, so what's navigation drawer actually? So navigation drawer is one of the most common navigation pattern, as I told you, used in Android app. So actually, which was also actually the firstly the pattern that was widely adopted. So which was widely used. So navigation drawer is accessed through what has been commonly known as a hamburger menu. So actually you have a hamburger menu, and then the menu contains a list of available the menus. Okay, the available sections where you can navigate. So when you select this hamburger menu, the navigation drawer slides out from the left with the current section highlighted. So this can be displayed with or without the icon. So due to the nature of the navigation occupying the height of the screen, it is best suited for 5 or more top level destination, because that's why it was widely adopted, because you can list more than 5 or more top level destinations, or primary destinations I should say. So the destination can also be grouped together. Actually you can pretty much group together the to indicate multiple hierarchies of primary destination, by showing the divider line. And these hierarchies can also have labels. In addition, the drawer contents is also scrollable. It is also scrollable. So to summarize, the navigation drawer is very convenient and it's very much widely adopted in your application because it provides you a lot of options, as I told you. So the only weakness of this navigation drawer is that it requires the user to select the hamburger menu for the destination to be visible. Otherwise, it's invisible, right? So you have to always select the hamburger menu. This is the one of the weakness. And actually, some other navigation pattern that I told you, like this bottom navigation and tab navigation, are always visible actually. So this is one of the advantage of these other patterns of navigation. The only disadvantage of this one is you have to click on the hamburger menu, okay, to be displayed. Okay. uh, so let's start a simple application with a navigation drawer, and we will make a simple application to demonstrate a navigation drawer, and we will use it step by step, and we will try to implement in our application. uh, okay, so actually what I have done is, like, I have pretty much created my strings that I need here. I have used the themes. The themes that you are using is the dark accent bar, and pretty much Windows accent bar false, and no accent bar, uh, so Windows no title is true. And like for app navigation, I'm using app overlay, app bar overlay, and pop-up overlay, okay, which are pretty much using these styles. And then first, I have also actually already created a empty and blank activity, which is called app navigation activity. And uh, and what next, we have also the layout, which is pretty empty for the moment. And so actually I have also declared my activity in the manifest. No, not yet, so let me define it. App navigation. So let me define my activity, which is let me see, it is app navigation activity. App navigation activity. And okay, and we have to, obviously, because it's a launcher, so we have to just add the intent feature to filter that it is the main and the launcher activity, right? And export it to true. Voila guys, so we have also declared the activity in the manifest file. And so now we have to create some supporting, like fragments where it's gonna navigate, right? The navigation drawer is gonna navigate. So we have to create a series of destination where destination fragments where the app navigation drawer uh, is going to navigate there. So right, so okay, let me create empty fragments one by one. The first one is called home fragment. Okay, I have just pretty much created a template, so let me create another fragment called favorites fragment. Okay, yes, and let me create another one. Yeah, I will be creating a series of destination fragments. So step by step guys, recent fragments, this will be all the destination, the navigation destination where the our navigation drawer will help us to navigate. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to demonstrate that here in this bootcamp. Okay, so archive fragment, yeah, I would be creating a multiple destinations. So what next is we also need another one which is called settings fragment. We need more which is called bin fragment, and we also need one more, it's called content fragment. Okay, we have a list of destination fragments. Now what we have to do is we have to use this let me go to the each of the fragments layout. I have to modify this with the, okay, let me see what's there. Okay, so we have a pretty much frame layout, but let me change to constraint layout, and I have a text view which is pretty much using this one, but anyhow it's gonna the text is gonna, actually it's content fragment and text alignment to center, layout gravity to also center, and size to 20 sp, and top of parent, bottom to bottom of parent, and start off, no sorry, it's like start off because it's a constraint layout, parent and end to end of parent. Okay, so our layout will pretty much look at this one. Sorry guys. Okay, your layout will be looking this, and let me also put the margin of margin 80p. So yeah, pretty much we are okay. And okay guys, we are pretty good to go. So actually, you know, you can just use the similar pattern for other fragments, and let's modify the layout. The only thing changes is the text is called archive fragment. Similarly for the bin, we have to modify it, and it's a bin fragment, and content is already done, favorites, that's fragment, home, fragment, recent, yeah, recent fragment, and settings fragment. Okay, voila guys. Okay, so we are pretty much able to create the layouts, I mean modify the layouts for each of these destination fragments. So what next? We also need a button, right? Actually, okay, so we need also another button. 140 dp is 150 dp. 16 dp and 16 dp. Okay, we have a text. Okay, and we have a top to bottom of. Actually we have to also assign the ID is text settings. It's a settings. Okay, it's the settings button, so it will be pretty much actually I have to wrap content here, otherwise. Okay, so here, voila guys, link to content button, settings fragment. Okay, pretty much our layout will be like that. Okay, the same goes also for the home fragment, and is home. Okay, so wrap content. Okay, yes, we have the layout, and what next guys? Okay, let me check. Let me check. Let me check one thing. Is we need now a navigation, right? We need a navigation graph. So let's create a navigation graph. Let's create a navigation graph from here. Android resource file is this navigation graph is called mobile navigation. The values are is called navigation, and okay, so we were able to create this mobile navigation. And once we create the mobile navigation, we need to add a navigation home, right? Okay, so we need to add first our home fragment. It's the main fragment, I mean like the start destination fragment. As you can see here, you can pretty much add with the with this button, the new destination. So this is our main main fragment. Okay, main home fragment. And then this main fragment, what it does is gonna navigate to the content. So let me also create a content fragment. Let me add content fragment, content content fragment content. Okay, so yeah, we have a content fragment. We were able to add also the content fragment, and yeah, similarly we will be adding more other fragments, like all the fragments that we had created. So let's add consecutively all the fragments, like we have archive fragment. Okay, let me add in the order. I have the another one is called bean fragment. Okay, let me also add it here. Yeah, make it more smaller. Okay, this is archive, this is a bean fragment. What else we need? Also favorites fragment. Then we have recents fragment, right? And what else we have? Then we have settings fragment. Okay, let me put settings here. Let's arrange the fragment so that it's more understandable. And what else? Like actually, the home fragment will be navigating to content fragment. So let's create action with this button, and so it will be, you have an action here which is pretty much going to the content fragment, right? And okay, so our navigation graph is pretty ready. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 I have 7 fragments, right, over in total. Okay, so once we are ready with the navigation, we have to set up our home fragment. So let's go to our home fragment and let's make some primary setup. Is what we have to do is on view created, or also on create view created, we can pretty much navigate it's a button. So actually what we are gonna do is we have this click button. On this click, link to content button. So here we have to navigate to the content, right? So let me do this. Okay, fragment home. Actually it's not settings, it's home. Okay, then click listener. So we can navigate to the required destination, the content fragment. Let's see if this is, yeah, this is the content fragment. And voila guys, so this will pretty much going to help us to navigate to the content fragment. Okay, so what next? Okay, so we have to actually create also our nav host fragment, uh, which will be in our main like this app navigation activity, right? So let's create this nav host. Okay, so let's create a nav host fragment by creating a new file in the layout folder called content main. So let's create this XML file, a new layout resource file, which is called content main. Okay, this will be actually a fragment container view, and we'll have a, okay, let me close it. Don't need this one. So it will have this namespace xmls, and then we also have the xmls app, this namespace. We have need the id is nav host fragment. Okay, the name will be a actually it will be nav host fragment. This will be the name. The layout width and height as always matching the parent. Then you have default nav host true, and you have a graph. You have to add the nav graph. It's like a navigation, mobile navigation. So it's our nav graph. So okay, we were able to create a nav host fragment okay, now in this content main layout, right? And then as you can notice that there is a navigation graph called mobile navigation. So we set to the navigation nav graph that we have just created. Okay, so with that, the body of the application and its destination has been set up. So now we need to set up the UI navigation. So app and its destination has been set up. So we were able to create all the destinations, all the and then we also create this nav host fragment. So now what we need to set up is the UI navigation. So we need to create another resource file called nav header main. Okay, so let's create another layout called nav header main. Okay, so what this nav header main is, the layout of the nav header main will be pretty much like this. Okay, I have already created this, so just the purpose of making it more smooth. Okay, so this is our navigation header main. Okay, for our nav drawer, right? And so actually we are going to process the setup the UI navigation. So first step is we create our nav header main. So this is the layout that's displayed in the header of the navigation drawer. So this is the header of the navigation drawer. So that's you have to understand. So then we have to create the application bar with the toolbar layout. Let's create another one, application bar, the main application bar, in always the layout. So we have app bar main. Okay, so app bar main will be pretty much be in this format. Okay, actually I have already created them, and if you split it right now I'm not able to update it, but it's gonna create be like a app bar layout, and then we have a toolbar, and finally we have the actually it is these all views are in this view group called coordinator layout. Actually what it does is this integrates the main body layout. As you see that the content main body layout is included in this app bar main layout. Okay, so actually the app bar that appears above it. Okay, and so the remaining part is to create the items that will appear in the navigation drawer, and create and populate the navigation drawer with these items. So we need to create the items that will appear in the navigation drawer. So first thing is we have the content main. The content main actually contains the navigation host fragment, which is gonna host all the our destination fragments. Okay, and so this is our nav head main, and we have so we need to actually set up the set up all our the items that we need to appear in the navigation drawer, and so let's go and create the items. So for to display the items we also need to create the drawables, icons I need to say, sorry. So let's create the drawables, and let's create a vector asset called favorites. Okay, let me create this. It's called rates. Okay, yeah, okay, let me create this one, favorites, finish. Okay, so we have this favorites vector, and then similarly we also need to create other vectors like bin. Let me see if there is a bin. Lost. No, there is no bin, guys. So let me check if there is any bins. Delete. Yes, there is a bin. Okay. Okay, and what next? We also need archive. Okay, we have this archive, and what? Oh, sorry guys, let's rename this. Archive. Okay, what else? We need another vector asset called we need a home also. Actually, it's great if they have a home. Sweet home Alabama. Okay, it's home. And what else? We need a recent. Okay. Okay, and what else? Okay, I think we are good to go with the drawables. And okay, let's see what we can do next. Is we need to create the menu with these items. Okay, so these will be all our items that we will be displaying this in our navigation drawer. But to display that, we need to create a menu. So let's create a new resource file called menu. And yes, we have a menu, and let's name it activity main drawer. Okay, so we have this activity main drawer as the menu. So this menu will be we have to actually group these menus into different groups like top and bottom. Okay, so let's group it guys, and we make the group ID as a menu top, and checkable behavior is single. And similarly we have okay, we can also add some items first. Okay, let me add a item which is let me add the ID first. It's a nav home first, then we have a icon is a home, then we have a title is a home. Okay, so we have this menu item. So let me split. Yeah, we have this menu item called home at first, and then let me just duplicate it. We will have being nav home, then we'll have recent. Okay, we'll also have another one which is called nav favorites and favorites. Okay, so we have to now create also another group of menu called menu bottom. This one will have just the archive and archive, and we will also have the another one which is a bin, right? It's a bin. Okay, yeah, that's it guys, so we don't need more. And yes, we have this menu items which is divided into two groups like the menu top and menu bottom. And yes, let's proceed ahead. Okay, after this so what we have to do is now we have to modify our main activity, and we have to tie the navigation drawer to all the layout specified previous that we have done previously, right? So let's go to our main activity, like the principal activity. The principal activity that we were using was app navigation activity, right? So here what we have to do is we have to include our AppBar main. And okay, so let's modify our main this activity app navigation layout. So actually it's not the constraint layout, it will have a drawer layout. Then it will include, as I told you, the layout which is called app bar main layout, and obviously this will have the width, transparent, and height as a also transparent. So actually it's gonna include this app bar main layout, and we'll have also the navigation view, wrap content and transparent, which will also have ID of a nav view. Then okay, next we'll also need to have a gravity is a start, because this navigation view will be in the start, and fits system window true, header layout. So our this navigation view will have a header as a nav header main, and menu will have a activity main drawer. So this activity main drawer, it will be going to host all these menu items, right? In your navigation view will be that the drawer, navigation drawer. Okay, so this is our layout, and so as you see, we include the AppBar main. AppBar main layout is gonna consist of our the main content, toolbar, and yeah, the content and also the toolbar. So as you know that the include elements allows you to add layouts that will be replaced at compile time with the actual layout itself, right? So as you can see, it allows us to encapsulate different layouts as they can be reused in a multiple layout file within the app. So the navigation view, the class that creates the navigation drawer, this is like the class that creates the navigation drawer. This navigation view is gonna create our navigation drawer. So the specifies the layout file you have just created to configure its header and menu items, right? So this is the header layout, nav header main, and this is the menu items. So first, you know, your navigation view like will be like for it this navigation role will composed of this your header, and then you have all the menu items displayed here. So once we run the app, we will be seeing that. But first, let's also do some setup and add some logic to our main activity, that is the activity app navigation activity. So we have to add some logic here. So let's go and add some this logic. So we have at first create ours, we have set the content view, then we have to set the support action bar. Let's find toolbar, we set the support action bar, then we have to create a nav host fragment which support fragment manager, find fragment by id, nav host fragment as a nav host fragment, right? So we also need a nav controller which is a nav host fragment and a nav controller. So we have to create the top level destination and add them to the drawer. Okay, so app bar uh, okay, okay, so we have to create a bar configuration. It's been like app bar configuration. So this app bar configuration, we have to create the object. So app bar configuration will be like set of your navgar home, nav recent, nav favorites, you have id archive, and you have a bin finally. Okay, so our app bar configuration will okay, just let me see. I have okay, so what we we have missing is like we missed the id here. Okay, it's always better to do it in this way, and then okay, let me pass the id first. Okay, so now we have initialized our app bar navigation, app bar configuration. Then we have to set up action bar with the nav controller. Is a nav controller, we have passed the nav controller, then app bar configuration. So by id is navigation view. Then what we have to do is we set up with nav controller. So set up action bar with nav controller. So this is it sets up the action bar returned by your get support action bar for use with your nav controller. Okay, it's gonna do this one whenever while your nav view is this navigation view where your navigation drawer is. Okay, will set up with your navigation, that is a nav controller. Okay, so this is pretty much the setup for your navigation. On support navigation up, here controller, it's gonna set up your final nav host fragment, and then it's gonna return nav controller navigate up to the app bar configuration or on support navigation up. Okay, so what next now? Actually, on support navigation up, handles the up button by delegating its behavior to the given nav controller. This should generally be called from app compact activity on support navigation up. Okay, and what else? Okay, so we have to also create the menu, right? On create options, menu. Here pretty much you have to use the menu inflator to inflate the menu that we have created. And then we have to return to true, right? So now we have to also pretty much options item selected for the menu. What it does is for each item selected, you on nav destination selected, find a nav controller .i.nav host fragment. Okay, so you pretty much pass the navigation destination selected. So attempt to navigate to the navigation destination associated with the menu item, right? Okay, so we are okay, but we have to make a slight modification because you know we have to associate, you know, the destination will be associated to this navigation that you have declared in your menu. Okay, where is the menu, guys? Okay, let me see. There is a slight modification that you have to make because your menu no gee, where is our menu, guys? Okay, so this is our activity main drawer menu. So you see that this consists of a this navigation ID, right? So you know the same navigation ID should be associated also when we have created the navigation for our. So here we have to make a slight modification because the navigation ID that you specify here should be same with the ID that you have declared in your activity main drawer menu items, right? So this must match, otherwise your navigation will not work. So here let's content archive nav bin, right? And nav favorites, nav recent, nav settings. Okay, so here we have to make this modification to match with the our main recent favorite. Okay, so yeah, this is it. And okay, what next? Yes, let's run the application and see if it is pretty working fine. Content fragment, Okay, so this was the modification that I was making. Okay, let me run it again, but actually we still have to do something. That is, we have to add the overflow menu for the settings. uh, Still we have uh, let me create a menu resource file called main, and let me add the overflow menu here. The item. Okay, so and okay, let's discuss one thing at a time. Okay, let me run the application again, and meanwhile we will be talking about some. Okay, there might be some. Okay, let's try to review this code that we have done here. So set support action bar. Okay, so this line configures the toolbar used in the app by referencing it from the layout and setting it. Okay, retrieving nav host fragment is done uh, using this code, right? And you also have the nav controller. Okay, so next we have to add the menu items. So the menu items was added to this AppBar configuration. uh, to the store layout is actually the container for the navigation view, the main app bar and its included content. As you can see here, this drawer layout is the container of all your main app bar and your navigation view. This is the consists of the navigation header main and your activity main drawer, which consists of all the menu items, right? So okay, so sometimes it might seem that you are doing this twice, as these items are displayed in the activity main drawer menu for the navigation drawer. However, the function of setting this bar configuration is that this primary destination will not display and up arrow when they are selected, as they are at the top level. Okay, so this is the reason what it for where for which you have to also define it here in the app bar configuration. So uh, so as you can see here on support navigation up, it's like it specifies the item within the navigation drawer that should be highlighted when the user clicks on it, right? So and you have to also ensure the pressing of the up button for the secondary destination, that when you go back to the to its primary destination, that's the parent, right? So this makes you understand the difference between the primary and secondary destination, right? And so as you can see, you will also have the overflow menu for this one. It's main, and so x, as you can see here, this so action never, what is this means? This means there to always appear. So as action, so as action means like if you want the menu to be always appear, then you just say so action, so as action to true. Okay, and So if there is a room, then it will so the you see the attribute being set to never ensures that it will stay as a menu option within the three dots overlay menu, and it will not appear, actually it will never appear on the app bar itself. So uh, you can also say always appear on the app bar if there is a room, right? Okay, so I think we are pretty okay. So let's run the app and let's see if there is any error. Yeah, we see the error. uh, okay, so here we have an error. Windows action bar. Okay, so let's go and check our themes, and let's set it to theme. As you can see, do not request the Windows Opera action and set window action bar to false in your theme. So let me go to the theme, and let me see. Actually it's already false. It's already false. Okay, Windows no title is also true. So the activity already has a action bar, so apply to the window deco. Do not request action bar and set to false in your team to use the toolbar instead. Okay, so there is some slight problem with this set support action bar. Let me just verify it. Okay, it's always in the okay, so let me see what might be the problem. So actually what we are doing is bar navigation main. No, it's not this one, it's main header. This is also okay. Bar main consists of our this navigation. Pop-up theme is pop-up overlay, so this is okay. So okay, let me run this by closing the yes, actually we okay, seems like it's working, but we have this extra view. Okay, let me check. There might be some. Action bar, and let me check my manifest if there is something. Okay, go to my, let me go to my manifest and see if there is any. Okay, here we have a, okay, actually I have forgotten to implement this in my activity. Okay, so let me run it again. Yeah, but here in the sense like we have to set the support action bar, right? Okay, now it's pretty much working fine. So there was the problem. So what I was doing was I did not so I had the action bar already set up here. So if you have to always use this no action bar theme, then you have to set support action bar here so that it will work, right? So that was the problem. So link to content, you have to go to content fragment, go back, yeah. So it's pretty working fine, guys. And we have the settings. Okay, then we can go to recent fragment. You see favorites fragment, archive, okay, fragment, bin fragment. And yeah, we have the navigation drawer with the menu items, the destinations being grouped into different sections, right? And seems it's like pretty working pretty fine. So guys, yeah, this is all about the navigation drawer, and hope you everything is clear. It was like pretty lengthy tutorial, but I was able to just go through step by step in a very smooth manner. So if you have any questions, just please do write me. If you like, please do subscribe, and thank you very much, guys.